Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. I want to just do a quick video, show you how you can use these window wells. You can get these at your big box stores. I got them at Home Depot. They were only $10 each. And we're going to use these to extend our growing season. It's October 15th here. So first thing is they go up against your house. So if you have a garden on the south side of your home, you can just buy these, you know, a nice sheet like this. We're going to put two together actually and use them in the garden. I'll show you how to do that with the duct tape. But you could push these up against your house. You're going to have to secure them. So just getting some simple stakes, you could just push them right in the ground. And that's going to secure it against your house. And this is going to stay nice and warm. You can grow your leafy greens, root crops right in here, extend your season or start earlier. Depends on what you want to do. You know, for $10, it's really inexpensive. So the build is just going to be a circle. I bought two pieces. If you were like buying this as a garden product, it would cost you a lot more. So look around in Home Depot, Lowe's, sometimes Walmart, and just look for things to repurpose. So we're going to use duct tape just to seal this across the top, down the sides. You could also get a board and put a board right here, and it'd be flat just like the part of your house as I was showing you earlier, and then put some screws in there, and then you could just move this around. Not a ton of space, but plenty of space to grow, you know, lots of greens and radishes and stuff in there. When you put it together, you can have yourself a nice little salad garden through the winter. And I like the fact that this would be easy to take apart. You just take the tape off, stack them back up, and you're good to go. All right, so I'm going to tape this. I'm not going to show you this in the video because it's real easy to do, but we're just going to put duct tape right down the seam. A couple of things I wanted to show you, and I'm actually letting the wind blow. I usually wait for it to slow down so that it doesn't mess up the sound, but the wind is blowing really hard, and this is staying in place, so it's nice and heavy. You might want to secure it down. You could put a post down here and secure it in some way. When you're taping it up, start with a couple little pieces and just get the edges set up. You want to make sure that the bottom is flush, and that's the most important part because you want the bottom to seal to the ground. As I come up here, the plastic's not, the pieces aren't exactly, I guess, cut the same way. That's okay. Just make sure the bottom seal is even right there. So now I'm going to just tape up everything across. So just to be clear, you could poke a small hole right in there and then just put that bamboo post here, and then same thing, a small hole over here, put a bamboo post down, and that will secure it. So it's all taped up, nice space for growing, really lightweight, easy to pick up. I will link the video to show you how I built this. The radishes from the video last week are already up. Now this is not a perfect fit, but just imagine if this was a little bit bigger space for the ground, this would just drop right on there, and I'll show you an example in my garden for that. And then your radishes, your leafy greens, your root crops would do really well in here. Now as the temperatures get into the 60s or higher in a full sunny day, this could really heat up too much in here. There's always that potential. So what I would do, and what I'm going to do, is just use a knife and cut a square right here, and that will be the venting hole. At night you want to cover it. Oh, my tape just folded over in the wind. Hold on. All right. And then I would just put a piece of tape over the hole, just nice and light. Leave it on if the temperatures are staying, you know, in the 50s or lower or whatever. And then if it's going to be hot that day, just open it up and let the excess heat out and then close it over. And this will work to allow you to garden later into the fall, even through the winter using the leafy greens, because even if it frosts in here, it gets a little bit cold, they can take a freeze, and you can start the season earlier. All right, let me show you a couple ways I would use it in my garden. My cabbages are doing pretty well. They don't need to be covered, but I want to try and garden through the winter, through January and February here. This fits nicely into this space once I pull the cabbage out. Taller right down the middle. Leafy greens would go down the middle, radishes and root crops, arugula on the outside. So super lightweight, easy to pick up, easy to move around. This is one space that I could use it. And I love growing radishes, so I could just load in a ton of radishes in here. Here's a spot I really didn't use this year, but I'm gonna do a future video if you want to subscribe, show you how I plant this up for the winter. And this would just get dropped right there. You would just have to, you know, dig the soil down low enough here so that the edges will press down to the ground. This is a mound bed, so this will be mounded. This will sit right on top of that, and then we'll see what I put inside there. Of course, it's going to be the leafy greens, spinach, and root crops. And then in this space, you know, I could certainly put one here, one there. It does get expensive if you know, build a lot of these. But for 20 bucks, I'll be able to use this year after year after year. Use it in the fall, use it in the spring. So I'm going to get my money's worth out of it. And it's so lightweight, easy to store. That's one of the things that I look for. Here's a 4x4 raised bed. The peppers and tomatoes will be coming out soon. And trust me, once I remove those T-posts right there, this will slide back and this will be flush to the ground right in there. But I'll be able to use most of this 4 foot by 4 foot space for my late fall, winter, and early spring gardening. And again, this was $20, easy to make. Just drop it where you want to use it, easy to store. Hope this gives you some ideas of how you can extend your season or start earlier, or both, come spring. I like going to the big box stores, looking around in not the garden section, because you always pay more for stuff in there for the garden. Go to the other sections. This is a window well cover. Find it by the doors and windows at Home Depot. Thanks again for watching, and please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com. And subscribe. I'll be showing you how I grow using this cover.